If you want to actively regenerate your body's cells, fasting alone will not get you all the way there. Today, we are building a protocol that combines the fasting-mimicking diet with targeted oxygen therapies to physically force stem cell regeneration. To run this protocol, you need 3 specific tools: a 5-day fasting-mimicking diet plan, access to hypoxia and hyperoxia therapy, and a standard pulse oximeter. We are going to use these tools to build a precise 7-day schedule. By the end of this video, you will know exactly when to fast, when to breathe, and when to eat to get the maximum biological response. Getting the timing right is what bridges the gap between simply slowing down the aging process and actively generating brand new cellular tissue. Before we map out the week, we have to look at how our 2 main levers actually work. Nutrient scarcity and oxygen sensing trigger entirely different cellular repair pathways. On the left, our first lever, nutrient scarcity. Restricting calories on the fasting-mimicking diet shuts down a nutrient-sensing pathway called mTOR. This forces cells into a dormant state, clearing out toxic protein aggregates. On the right is our second lever, oxygen sensing. Fluctuating oxygen levels activates the HIF-1 alpha pathway. This specifically targets and lengthens telomeres, the protective caps on the ends of your chromosomes. This is exactly why fasting alone falls short. The diet is highly protective, but it struggles to actively repair structural DNA damage or rebuild those telomeres once they wear down. By stacking nutrient deprivation with targeted oxygen fluctuation, we create a dual-pronged defense that addresses a much broader spectrum of aging's root causes. Let's put this onto our 7-day master calendar. We start with the fasting-mimicking diet for the first 5 days. Days 3, 4, and 5 are our cleanup phase, which is exactly when we schedule our first oxygen therapy sessions. During this specific window, your body is in a state of deep stress resistance. A cellular process called autophagy is operating at its absolute maximum, aggressively hunting down damaged internal components. When we introduce oxygen therapy during this peak fasting window, it acts as an intense physical clearance mechanism. This combination targets and dissolves up to 37% of senescent cells, inactive, aging cells, often referred to as zombie cells. If you skip the oxygen therapy during these peak fasting days, you miss your best opportunity to clear out this cellular trash before your body starts trying to generate new tissue. Now we shift our calendar to days 6 and 7. This is our rebuild phase, which kicks off the exact timeline when your fasting ends and refeeding begins. The moment you start eating again, the mTORC1 pathway reactivates. This stops the autophagic cleanup and signals the transition to tissue rejuvenation. Under a normal fast, a specific protein called FOXO3 acts defensively. It forces your stem cells to stay dormant and quiet, protecting them from dividing while resources are low. But when we add the stress of oxygen therapy exactly as you reintroduce food, FOXO3 completely changes its biological behavior. Instead of blocking proteins, hypoxic FOXO3 binds directly with beta-catenin to form a regenerative complex. This recruits SWIF-SNF chromatin remodelers, molecular motors that use energy to physically unspool tightly coiled DNA into an open, accessible state. This unspooling exposes the exact genes your body needs for stem cell proliferation and the formation of new blood vessels. Scheduling your oxygen sessions concurrently with your first meals is the exact biological trigger that supercharges the stem cell surge. We have our schedule, but this precise timing will only yield results if you hit the correct physiological oxygen threshold during your sessions. This is where your pulse oximeter comes in. You have to track your blood oxygen. To force your cells into repair mode, your SpO2 needs to drop below 88%, ideally settling right around 83%. There is a common misconception here. Simply flooding your body with excess oxygen from a mask is not what actually triggers this repair cascade. The real trigger relies on a counterintuitive mechanism known as the normal baric oxygen paradox. It is the sudden drop from a hyperoxic state back down to normal oxygen levels that initiates the repair. This rapid decrease leaves your cells with an excess of antioxidant scavengers, artificially creating a biochemical state that mimics severe oxygen deprivation. By tracking your blood oxygen and ensuring the specific drop, you force your body to perceive hypoxia. This unlocks the regenerative FOXO3 cascade safely without ever putting you in real danger of asphyxiation. Let's zoom out and review our finalized 7-day protocol calendar. For the first half, on days 3 through 5, we use the combined therapies at the peak of the fast to maximize the clearance of cellular trash and dissolve zombie cells. Then, for the second half, on days 6 and 7, we stack oxygen therapy with nutrient reintroduction. This opens the chromatin at key loci, driving the surge in stem cell proliferation required for rejuvenation. By timing these two biological levers, you transform a standard fast into a sequence that first clears systemic cellular debris and then forces the active synthesis of new tissue.